Yeah, yeah. What they saying? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental is parasailing maritime. They say I'm destined to read the palm line. Yeah, I'm so divine.
Welcome to the H.G.R.G podcast. This is episode 18. We got a special guest with us, Larry. What's going on, G? What's going on, DT? What's going on, Larry?
Hey guys,
welcome.
Salute.
What's going on?
Welcome. Listen, guys.
Larry's taking over Lance's job, so this is
a
formal
interview on camera.
We can't get away from this.
Nah, never. We'll never split up the team.
Larry's his dabble gabble.
Yeah.
Because he's bald, I'm bald.
It's not really a split up when you push somebody to the side. It's not really a split up. You know what I'm saying?
Unbelievable. But listen, we preach about having a strong team. We like we told you guys before. In the back of the scenes, we're helping a lot of people out, and we're creating something for people to come in and really get a part of it and move forward to help them with their goals. And we're working on that in the background. And before we put that together, we have people that did not listen to us. We told them, we spoke about it, they heard it, they didn't listen, they moved on, which is fine, right? But then we also have people that did listen before we presented our team, before we presented this package that will be coming out with soon, or in this portal. We have someone like Larry that took the advice and move forward, and now they're starting to thrive and doing what they're doing in the real estate as well. So Larry, we want to have you on here. We're happy to have you here, and we kind of want you to speak about your experience, with us and being introduced to us and everything you had to go through and how many properties you have and what that looks like. All right. So Larry, if you want to give us a little bit of background.
I want you to know, when I grow up, I want to be just like you.
You talking to Larry or you talking to me?
I'm talking to the guy we're interviewing, sir.
Oh, okay. Just making sure.
Okay, let's get serious. Lance, walk away, Lance.
But, all right, 3 screens now. We no longer need you. Thank you for your job, Lance. Great job.
Thank you for the intro. Thank you.
I've been trying to fire me for a while. So Larry, if you could, go ahead, man.
Real
estate
got to be fun, man. Real estate got to be fun. That's a fact.
So I'll give you a little background for where I'm coming from, and I guess I'll lead into how I got into the real estate. So I've been a renter my whole life. I've been living in Queens, New York my whole life. So if anybody knows, that's a very expensive real estate here, So I was never ever thinking about leaving New York and thinking I couldn't even afford a house, literally, honestly. So it was never in my dreams, never in my path, never even in the horizon. I was like, oh, I got good rent, I like the neighborhood, it's all right. But then, you get old, you get married. As soon as I got married, then wifey wants a house. We got to get a house. That's the next step. Let's get a house. All right, let's look for houses. I don't have $500,000. I don't have $1 million to put down on property so. Yeah. And also, top that, the taxes in New York are ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So it just shut down the dream. It shut down the dream, or postponed it and said, this is not the way I could do it, or this is not a way, So I'm a renter my whole life. I've been in the host, just renting. So that's it. Oh, babe, we can't really afford it. I don't want to be house poor, paying this and working myself to death to pay a mortgage. I'm like, that's not life. That's not life,
Yeah.
Fast forward a couple of years, like 1 or 2 years, I started working with Jerry. I was in the office.
Jerry.
Yeah, I was in the office, and just doing my work, typing, taking a little break, and I was just ear hustling, to be honest. And I was hearing Jerry speak about houses, and I was like, "Oh, what is he talking about?" And then when he was going through the numbers, it seemed like everything could be feasible. I'm like, "What?" And I had to interrupt because the numbers sounded good, and I was like, "Yo, $10,000, $15,000, sign me up. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?"
That's
I interrupted Jerry's impromptu meeting that he had with 2 other gentlemen.
which the two other gentlemen didn't go through with it. So he was ear hustling, found out that what we was doing. The other two gentlemen that I was preaching to didn't take my advice.
Wow.
He took the ear hustle and went straight through it. But go ahead.
That was God's plan. That's real.
And and I was skeptical at first, but then when Jerry showed me the numbers and showed me the possibilities and just showed me the way. He showed me the well. He showed me the way, and he said, "Yo, I'm here for you. Whatever you need, it's on you." And then little by little, I said, "Yo, I think we could do this." I looked at my bank account and I was like, "Yo, I think it's possible. I think it's possible." But there's a couple caveats to the story. We didn't buy in New York City. That was a big thing. Also, we didn't buy for my personal, we bought for investment, and that was the first things. The barrier of entry, that's where we at, and that's how we carried on.
So there's a question real quick. So
please.
I know you jumped in and you said there was some pushback. What did your wife say? What did you? Because I'm sorry to fast forward.
No,
you're
please,
in business.
You want to chime in, interject, dissect.
You're in business with your wife.
Oh, if everybody knows, as soon as you sign those papers, legally binding, that's your business partner. That's your partner.
For sure.
Like it or love it. Like it or love it. You make $1? No, you make 50 cents. No, you don't got that dollar. So I need my partner to be on. I need her to be totally backing me, totally supporting me. Yeah. And I did have to speak with her, and I did have to give her the same story that Jerry gave me, and the same open book and the same game plan. And was like, "Yo, what do you think?" And yeah, she saw the numbers, and to be honest, she's way better with numbers than I am. So when she saw the numbers, she started scratching her head, and she's like, could be. So then, we sat down with Jerry. Jerry gave me more background information and how
was this with your lady?
No.
Oh, just you and Jerry. Okay.
Just me and Jerry. Because I work with Jerry. So, our breaks, what I'm saying? While my brainstorming, while we talking about work, I got a question about that. How is that possible? And how could I do that? So if everybody knows, but we buy in markets that are like you guys to say 3 or 4s in the scale of 1 to 10s.
Yeah.
And
that means you're paying attention. I like it. I like
it. Fellas, I listen to the gem of the day. No risk, no reward.
I love it. Talk heavy.
That's it. And I love the fact. I just want to pause with. I love the fact that he said we buy in the market. That's our goal.
That's the goal.
For people to say
absolutely. You're 100%.
There's enough for everybody to go around here. So yes, we, and I appreciate that, Larry.
Because he's part of the team. Even after we started the portal, started the package, started the movement. Because he listened does not mean you listen. We're moving forward in this community. He's left out. No, not at all. He's part of the packet. He's part of the movement as well because he listened and he's running with us.
He's H.G.R.G before H.G.R.G.
1000%.
Right. Before you guys were solidified.
Yeah.
And that I was already like following Jerry's crumbs. I was like, oh, okay, that's how you did it. That's how you get it. Okay, it's possible.
Right.
It's just knowledge and literally opportunity that I never knew I had.
That's awesome.
And a lot of renters. That's it. That's what they see. They see a barrier. They don't see how could I do it? How is it possible? Yeah. What could I do to change my life? What could I do to not just rent, to be an owner, get equity, and really change your life?
Right. It's like DT says all the time.
Hey, bro, you're doing a great job, Lance. You in trouble.
Well, let me get it here.
Tell you, if anybody needs a vacation, I know you got to spend some of that money you guys are making. I'll gladly step in anytime.
It's like DT says, you see 20,000, but I see 100,000.
That's a fact
of real estate.
That's right.
And that's the thing, especially coming from New York, like you do, the city. You you see crazy numbers, 1 million for this, 2.5 million for that building. I mean, it just feels out of reach, and people don't really believe the market. When I tell people the type of properties we can get, for how much we can get, for how much you can put down, they don't believe it. They don't believe it.
Hard to believe. When Jerry started talking those numbers, that's what grabbed me. I was like, whoa, hold up. This is something I could be into. And I even had to tell Jerry, he's like, yeah, Larry, that's what it is. That's the price of entry. And I was like, yo, I got that in my account right now. He's
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? I'm willing to risk it if it's an educated risk. If it's an educated risk, I'll roll the dice. I don't like to bet. You know what I'm saying? I don't like to bet. But if I'm gonna bet, I'm gonna bet on myself.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a great bet.
Yeah, you know
Great bet.
Larry, do me a favor. Don't get too animated with the pulling it. Don't do all that. All right. Don't try to take my job. Don't do all that.
Okay.
He's
like my
batting.
platform.
He's batting 100 right now. I'm telling you right there.
You're a little too animated over there.
I don't know how often you go on job interviews, but brother, it's not the park.
Guys, I just want to say thank you for letting me in the house, and I'm just trying to be as cordial and as receptive as you guys have been to me. So
No, that's dope. But well, I don't want to take nothing over, but one thing I wanted to say, that's why I said when I grow up, I want to be like you. Number one, I don't know your relationship with Jerry. This is the first time I'm hearing the story, which is dope to hear, right? So obviously salute to Jerry for just being, tried and true and who he is for forever. We all have those stories within our circle, and that's why this was created. So
right.
Salute to you for, taking heed to what he said and really soaking in all that information, soaking it in and not being ashamed to ask a million questions. You know what I'm saying? And I want to thank you for ear hustling. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, if you wasn't ear hustling, who else is going to teach you? Who else? How else you going to learn? You
don't know what corner your opportunity is at.
That's a whole fact.
You turn the next corner, but oh, look, I got another opportunity.
Yep.
It's good to have blinders on. Sometimes no, it's not. Sometimes
right.
no, it's not. Sometimes it's not.
That's right.
Yeah.
I just want to salute you for that, for the ear hustling. Salute you also for listening to not only good conversation but advice, and also seeing it with your own eyes. You know what I mean, and believing it. And more importantly, right? Why I said when I grow up, I want to be like you. Obviously, I said it jokingly, but I really, really mean that.
Tell me.
Is because the gun shy. You're not gun shy. You're not scared to pull the trigger on something that you see makes all the sense in the world, even though it's a risk. Because, like you said, you bought out of your market. You bought not in your hometown. You bought a distance away. So you spent your money and you trusted other people 100% to take care of that, whatever you got going on. So I salute you for that. That's why I said, when I grow up, I want to be like you. And I want you to touch on that, as you're telling your story. But sorry for the interruption, but
no. Please chime in what you want, because your interrupting is just inspiration for another path that we're gonna go to. So definitely, you said it right there. Trusting someone else with your money. I can't be there. I can't be out of town. I gotta be at work with Jerry on time when they need me on call. So I can't be there. I can't be two places in one.
That's right.
So I got one of the best PMs in the game, property manager.
Oh, look at that boy.
Hey Jerry, I'm ready to cut the episode now.
I'm trying to tell you something.
Contract, bro.
He's listening. He paying attention 100%.
Now, so the reason, there's people are going to take the information and run.
Mm-hmm.
And there's going to people that's going to understand it, realize this works.
Yeah,
he is one of those guys. He knows, he sees, he understands this works. So I also want to salute that you even took the time to believe, because a lot of so what we preach is solid, and we're transparent, and I know you stand with me, and it's gonna be kind of biased because you kind of know me, and you know how I stand, what I move on. But so for the listeners, this is what we do. This is why we do it.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we want you to walk to that water. We want you to drink that water, understand that water, believe in the water. Because once that comes back 10 times back, you're going to be like, I should have done it earlier.
Right.
Seeing is believing. You know what I'm saying? Belief is one thing. You know what I'm saying? I could believe someone's in the sky. But until a miracle happens, they don't believe in them. You know what I'm saying? So same thing. Seeing is believing. When Jerry showed me the numbers, Jerry showed me how is it possible and how could it be done? And really, what's the risk? What's the risk? The risk is not doing it. The risk is, and to be honest, in the beginning, the foundation wasn't there. And I was a little scared to touch Jerry because I'm like, he helped me so much. He really gave me the playbook. So I got to ask him for every little thing. I got to ask him, should I do this? Should I do that? And I felt like I was going to bother him, which was totally false. Jerry wants questions. Jerry wants it. That's what makes him happy,
Right.
Me, a lot of my life, I'm a loner, and a lot of people don't want to ask why. Ask. I'd rather just look it up than ask somebody, but that's not a good thing. You got to utilize everybody from your team. And that's one thing I want to say, that like I said, I'm not good with math. But that does not mean I can't buy real estate. You know what that means? I have to improve my team. My team needs to be 1,000%. I need to have someone on the staff that goes over the numbers, double, triple check.
Yep.
No?
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. That's right. Listen, you're not hearing it from us now. You're hearing it from him.
Yeah. You
Right.
got to. It's possible. Everything in that these guys are telling you is possible. But what it is like everything. Know your weaknesses. Know your strengths. Know what you're good at. Know what you're not good at. If you're not good with money, maybe you shouldn't do this. If you're not being responsible paying your bills, maybe this is not for you, But you need to be responsible. And if you're not responsible, maybe somebody in your team, you could allocate them access to your money and say, anything that comes out here, that's what we have to pay. That's what we're saving. That's what we're going to do. Okay. I'm not a good reader. I'm a horrible reader. But what do? I listen to a lot of podcasts. I listen to a lot of documentaries. I have something called dyslexia. Not severe, but it's struggling for me to read. It'll take time. And then I get bored. And then I just throw the book away. And I say, I can't deal with it. And I shut down. Let's listen to music. Let's listen to something interactive.
Right.
That's
so a team means a lot to you.
Oh, hell yeah. Definitely. Team is everything. Because no man is an island to himself. You say you're a one-man army, you're done. You're not a one-man army till you meet the other army. You get chewed up and spit out.
In every aspect in life, that's
right.
So true. That's
a fact.
That's right.
Yep.
So,
my gem of the day should be, know your strengths and know your weaknesses.
We gonna hold you to that.
yeah. And there's your gem of the day.
Yep. And there it goes.
So we're talking about belief here a lot, right? When Jerry sat down with you and went over the market that we're in, did you believe that there was a market like that until you were introduced to it? Did you ever think that was possible? Not
at all. First, the barrier to entry was always the price. So when I thought houses, I got scared. I was like, I don't got that money. I can't get that. And then also too, once you see that you can't get it, you get a disdain for it. F a house. I don't need a house. I'm from the hood. I don't need a house. That's not me. I can't do it. And you start to have a disdain for something because or you think that you can't do it. So you start hating it. Oh, I don't like that hot girl. Hate her. Why? Because you don't think you can get her, but you talk to her. And now she's with you. She's like, oh, you got a great personality. Oh, he's great. And now you have a great life. But you never know until you try. And bump your head, guys. Whoever's listening to us, bump your head a couple times.
It's moving forward, man. You got to move forward. And we talk a lot behind the scenes about the portal that was starting, giving the people, the H.G.R.G team, the plug and play system that we've created. And, I will say this. Say it again.
I say you guys are making it too easy.
It's easy.
But that's the game plan, because a lot of people don't do what you do. So it's rare for you to just take what I say and jump into it.
Yeah.
So the reason why we make a real big stink on plug and play is because we don't want none of the bumping heads. We want you to walk it as smooth as you can and not spend the bag to fix this, not spend the dollar amount to fix this. So the game plan for us is to, as sweet as you walked it for you, we want everybody to have that same movement. And that's what we play on. We play the team very hard. And that's what it is.
Right. But so to finish my point on that, a lot of people, even if they go and they get the portal, there are going to be some people that get it because they get it off of, being motivated or that adrenaline at that time. But it doesn't mean everyone's going to follow through. You know, is it a travesty that people won't? Absolutely. But you know, it's some are gonna fall by the wayside. Unfortunately, we're gonna try our best, but you can't save everybody.
Yeah.
You know, you need to, like you're saying, you got to be responsible. You got to be able to walk that path. It's a very smooth path. Where else are you gonna get? What we've learned, Larry, is that we see a lot of people selling a lot of products, and they give you the information, but they never give you where they get their stuff from, their resources, right? So we're giving you the attorney, we're giving you the realtor, we're giving you the property man. There's nothing you have to do except for move forward.
And great advice on top of that. You give them the playbook. You give them each person along the step that you know is vetted and know is they're part of our team. You know, because I'm with you guys.
That's right.
We utilize the same well. We drink from the same river. So that's what it is, yo. He's not gonna rip you off because he's with me. He don't rip me off, and he's gonna violate our trust and our foundation. You know, you would never do that to a good bag. You would never disrespect a good bag like that. So why not? Let's all get together, team up, and utilize what we know, and literally change the world.
That's a fact.
Change our personal and change the actual world.
It's like Jerry, you know right now.
Today's Sunday because Larry's preaching.
Yeah, it's over for you, Lance. It's over.
Jerry always says we need a seat at the table, right? Yeah. The way this thing is going today, when we get that seat, you're gonna be the one sitting in it.
When we get there, he's sitting there. Right?
I'm just saying. Nah, but and we say it in a joking manner, but like everything you're saying, and it's honestly, it's a blessing, and this is why. This is the joy. This is the reason why we do what we do. Like, 100%. And you know, sometimes, and it's gonna sound awkward, but you know, sometimes in life when you do certain things and you're a certain type of person, I can't speak for nobody but myself. You know, I never take the time to sit back and be like, wow, you know what I mean? I'm just because I'm always like, and I'm not saying that I'm not satisfied, but I always like, I have another driving force. I got to keep going. A lot of people rely on me. I got to keep pushing. Because if I don't do what I'm supposed to do, you know, it ain't just really about me. I got kids. I got a wife. I got a family. I got a friend. I got staff members. I got a lot of shit, you know, on my shoulders. So I got to keep pushing. So I very, very, very rarely take the time to sit back and be like, wow, that's impressive. So this isn't even my testimonial. This is Jerry's testimonial, you know, from somebody he knows. And to me, it's humbling to hear somebody talk about Jerry like that. And it's not even about me, you know what I'm saying? But I know the same thing that he says to you and you say to him, and y'all say to each other, I have that same experience. So I'm like, wow, that's dope. That's dope. You know what I'm saying? So I can't even speak about it, but I really, that's an official feeling, man. This is why we do it.
Absolutely. You're the reason why we do this, you know, because we could just be quiet.
Why not? You know, do you have to be on this podcast? I bet you guys got 1,000 better things to do than spill the beans, give away the secrets, because that's what you guys are doing. Yeah. You know, because the guys that are really making money, they don't want to tell anybody where their market is. They don't want to tell everybody why, because people get greedy. They get greedy. Mm-hmm. What did Jerry offer me? An opportunity. He opened it. Yo, Larry, there's a door. It's open. If it's unlocked, if you want it, go through. You know what I'm saying? That's right. And yo, I kicked the door open.
Blazing.
Now, Larry, let me ask you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the future look like for you? I mean, we're gonna keep investing, you know, or what's that look like?
It was a little game I used to play when I was a kid. You guys should know it.
Monopoly.
I'm trying to get to it. I'm trying to get to it.
This boy's on fire.
Get to the big red houses. Big red houses.
He's trying to get Park Place and Boardwalk, bye.
Big red houses.
He want to own railroads, Park Place, and Boardwalk, and he lit. You own the railroads, Park Place, and Boardwalk. You won the game.
I'll tell you this though. Before anything I say is I'm proud of you for you to even push through the obstacles, the barriers that we go through as the culture that we live in, and you taking it and going nah. I'm not standing here. So I applaud you for that. I definitely do.
And I know you're super proud of me, Jerry, because you've seen where I really came from.
Correct.
You've seen how my mentality changed. You've seen how I transformed. And not just into real estate, you know what I'm saying? In my whole life, and just the opportunities of expansion. You know what I'm saying? You start changing your mind and be like, yo, things are possible. Stop being negative. Don't feel like I can't, feel like how can I? You know, and that's the biggest thing.
Yes, sir.
And I know you're proud of me, Jerry, because I know you saw me from the jump.
Yeah, they don't know about
beyond the real
that's outside of this podcast.
Yeah, for real. Beyond the real estate, beyond the job, like I took a lot of steps, and Jerry knows. Like,
right. Where we come from,
yo,
you're not built. It's not. Listen, it's not cool to be a real estate investor. Nobody talks about that.
They don't rap about that.
There's nothing about that. You hear Jay-Z say it now, and you hear people go, oh, he's talking about paintings and real estate, and he's giving you game.
Yo, he's talking about
like $9.99. That's what he said.
My favorite word, equity. My favorite.
I mean, he's giving you real game by the block. You know, and I will tell you this: when Jerry and I sat down and we talked about buying in fringe neighborhoods, you know, and you know all the horror stories that you hear and whatnot, we sat down and Jerry and I were like, you know what? Somebody owns this shit. You know, why not us? Somebody owns it. Somebody owns it.
So when I saw that same shit house, I wasn't like somebody owns it. I was like, why the hell are they owning this? Why? Why is anybody owning this?
Why would I buy that? Yeah.
But then Jerry told me,
see that hat, DT.
If I give you $10,000, right? You give me $10,000, I'm gonna give you $500 every month, forever. I said, what? I said, hold up. You know what I'm saying? I'm ready to do that. And really, that's the math. $20,000, and I'm gonna give you $700 from now to forever. You know?
And oh, by the way, every time you give up that whatever the number is, you increase your net worth.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying? You increase your net worth and you know your assets, and you know it changes the whole game when you get into that place where you could now, you know, put those properties in position to get you the ultimate deal, the multi-million-dollar complex, or you know the portfolio or whatever that looks like. You know, as you keep rolling and doing what you're doing. No, that's fire. That's fire. 100%. I got a couple. Go ahead.
One more. Make pretend gem of the day. Don't be afraid of debt. Don't be afraid of debt if it's good debt. If it's good debt, that's perfect. You know.
Yeah, I'm letting you know right now.
Here's your gem of the day.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. If Lance didn't do that, he was fired for real.
You know what's crazy? I'm sitting here watching the cameras. DT, take your hat off real quick.
Nah, I ain't doing that.
Oh, that's right. I thought right. There's the two twins right here. Bald, red, ginger right here. It's not me.
That's not part of the family. That's my brother. Really? Nepotism. Really?
That's my guy right there.
DT's my cousin on the low. Nobody covered.
This has been all a lie. They've been cousins the whole time.
I could have swore I seen him at my barbecue, bro. I could have swore he was at the barbecue.
I was in the back eating all the food.
That's the real doppelganger right there.
That's hilarious.
but listen, ladies and gentlemen,
I got a couple questions, man. Don't try to end this too early, man.
I don't want to. Oh, here we go.
Done with this guy, man.
Yeah, we got some hard questions, some good questions.
I'm part of this team, so
we didn't start yet. We didn't start yet.
Heard your energy, y'all, ladies and gentlemen.
I just said, ladies and gentlemen, because I would say this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like.
This is absolutely, man. This is what it looks like. You're gonna get tired of hearing this, guys, because this is what we try to do. We try to give this energy, this vibe, this movement with everybody we move with. So everybody that gets on this podcast, that is a testimony on Jerry, on Lance, on DT, is gonna say, I had a great time. Now, don't get me wrong, not everybody has a smooth ride, because other things happen in their lives and personal lives, and sometimes it's shortcomings and stuff like that. But for the vibe, the movement that we're trying to do, this is what we're going to give you all the time.
Yeah.
This is us.
Absolutely.
In a nutshell.
Absolutely. And, you're going to get, excuse me, obviously, we're biased. So, when we invite somebody to the podcast, for the most part, it's going to be people who have success stories and, they're tried and true. They've done good. They've done well. To be quite honest with you, and not to be braggadocious about it, we don't have a student that failed. We don't have a person that we talk to that this didn't work. We don't. Everybody in this situation.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but how's someone going to starve if you're spoon feeding them everything? How are they going to starve? You guys are giving them everything.
Right.
You're starving. You ain't starving. You're part of the team. You eating.
But that's why on the other half of that, the other flip side of that is that's why we're so transparent with our podcast. Everything is great. Larry can come on here and it can be great, but we also give you the reality of sometimes if a renter doesn't pay, or you got to evict someone, or fixes that happen.
This is COVID world.
Great segue. DT, I'm gonna ask a question before you. I'm sorry because he just opened that up.
Go ahead.
I want you to give us a horror story.
No,
Sorry,
they're not paying. They owe me $5,000. They're not paying. That's a big percentage of the money I drop. They're not paying. What do I do? Now, there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of things you can do. You could fail. You could say, no, it's not for me. They owe me $5,000 and tuck tail. Or you could weather the storm. There's many things you could do. So this family, I have this family. They're not paying. They're getting deeper in debt. It's COVID world. You can't kick out nobody. You can't kick it. I'm a landlord, so I'm the villain. I want my money. I'm a villain. I'm an investor. I'm helping out the community. I'm improving the community. No, you're a villain. You're a slumlord. I'm slumlord. I painted the whole crib. I keep everything tip top. I'm on top. But my property manager got it. How am I a slumlord? You don't have anything to say it, or you just want to say it because you obfuscate the responsibility of you not paying your bill and put it on me, the evil one. The fiscally responsible one that's trying to help. But that's what it is. So, but there's always a solution. And her solution was she got government assistance. And then what did Larry get? Larry got a $5,000 check from a good old Uncle Sam. So that was a horror story in the beginning for how long, because you guys know how much the rent is and how much you have to accumulate for $5,000. It's a couple months, man. That's a lot of months. You know what I'm saying? And then you start getting frustrated. You start, wifey's like, yo, was this the best idea? Yo, why did we buy it too? And then you start thinking like, yo, damn, man, why not buy it? I should have bought a 5, I should have bought a 6, but no risk, no reward. And then you just got to be consistent. You got to be consistent and know it's like the ocean. Sometimes it's rocky waves.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's smooth sailing. But what, you're going to drown? You're going to jump off the boat? You're going to what you going to do? So that was the biggest part. And that was the biggest thing. No money. You know what I'm saying? With no money, it's like, yo, what am I doing this for? We're doing it backwards.
Damn, he's about to take my job though. He just put the listeners on ice. What are you gonna do?
So let me ask a question on that though.
Tell me.
How did your tenant know there's a program?
Oh, the property manager put that in the air. Of course, my team. I don't know everything. This is my brand new. This is a little information. I'm 2 houses in, and I think the 31st we close on the next one. God willing, it's the 27th, the 31st. So in a couple of days, I'm closing on the 3rd one. But I'm brand spanking new. I want
to be like you when I grow up. I swear to God.
That's 3 locked in, and that's the thing about the team. I'm always gonna stress this. Look at the team. He could, if he's by himself, no team, new investor, out of his market, right, out of state, doesn't understand the programs that are there. But guess what? He has a property manager that does understand the programs that are out there. So when he does get cut a $5,000 check, and then here he is about to close on his 3rd. He's got confidence because he has a good team.
Yeah, and that's the key, man. You need the team. You need the team, especially if you're like me, brand new to the financial world, brand new to the real estate world, brand new to the world of opportunities.
Absolutely.
So add to that question as well.
You said one.
It's flowing, brother. It's flowing, brother.
You see how they do us, Larry?
You get a question.
Everybody gets a car. Everybody gets a car.
Ask your 30th question. Is that right? Go ahead.
I got questions, my
Don't
man.
worry, you won't see him tomorrow. Don't worry about it. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm about to say one and only. You about to get kicked off anyway, so I gotta step up first anyway.
Yo, so my job interview is really good, right? It's doing good.
Hey, actually, can I get your number so I can make sure I call you back?
A1. So you get the property manager to do do you, first of all, It's a two-part question because I have
Yeah,
to.
of course
I have
it
to
is.
I have
Of
to throw
course
that
it
in there.
is.
32.
Oh man.
One is.
Go ahead. See if I got an answer. See if I got an answer.
Do you regret anything now?
The biggest regret is not starting earlier, not asking the questions earlier, being closed-minded, being an island to myself, you know? And that comes with being a New Yorker. I tell you, you know what I'm saying? We all self-sufficient. How am I trust my neighbor? That's why I thought robbed me last week. He might have been in my window. You know what I'm saying? So you come with that attitude with the whole world. Oh, he's not gonna try to help me. Yo, Jerry's trying to G me, yo. Jerry's trying to get this bread from me, yo. What? You want how much? Nah, yo. From where? And I gotta put the money. Nah. So that's one of the biggest things, you know, to not start earlier and be more receptive to people's lifestyle and the way they live in. So I could pick something up.
What's your second part, Jerry? Go ahead. What's the second part?
And the third and fourth.
And when you were going through tenants not paying, were you scared? Were you a little?
Oh, definitely. And you know why? It amplified because it's COVID world. The rules don't exist. So I learned the word moratorium, and it sounds like death. You know what I'm saying? It sounds like, yo, it's like, what, the cemetery?
That's crazy. It's real. It's so true, though.
It's so scary. It's so scary. Yeah, you're like, what the hell is this? All these new vocabulary words I'm learning. Yeah, no, Jerry, I was scared, and I was like, maybe I definitely did the wrong thing. Maybe I bought in the wrong time. Maybe I, you know, but I'll tell you how everything is right now. And I bought in a tough market while COVID was here. And look, that was
that's
2019.
another thing, man. You bought in the world of COVID, and you're still saying buy more.
Let's be clear. You started in the world of COVID.
I cracked it open. We started negotiations December 2019, and I closed in 2020. You know what I'm saying? Early 2020.
So March 2020, COVID was worldwide.
Everywhere.
Right, worldwide. So you started your real estate journey literally at the beginning of the craziest time in history.
How scary.
It was like surprise.
and you're still saying.
And you've grown.
Listen, Jerry, stop saying that. He's not still saying anything. He's closing.
Yeah, he's
at the end of this month. He's closing.
The reason why I gotta say still saying is because we get conversations. We get I don't want to say crucified, but they tell us, why do you keep hitting with horror stories and you still in real estate? And I'm asking that because he's still saying real estate is the goal.
No, it's the goal.
After going through it, opening up in COVID, and still say right now he's like, yo, my man, I'm buying another crib. We're exiting COVID, or I don't even know if we're exiting COVID, but we're going past COVID, and he's still saying I bought another one.
No, I'm still I'm still looking, always looking for a deal, always doing my math, always trying to check the numbers, always confiding with wifey, seeing, yo, what's the next deal, you know? And now that's what it is, you know what I'm saying? It's just, if it makes sense, why not keep on rocking? And like, to my thing is, if I did it when the world's on fire, imagine when it's sunny tomorrow, you know?
That's right.
I'm gonna be good.
Preach.
I'm gonna be battle tested. I'm gonna be ready for war. You can't tell me, bro. Ready for it.
And you know what's crazy? I know DT really wants to ask his questions.
Nah, we're good, bro.
Who cares? You know what I'm saying? I know DT wants to ask his
bro,
questions.
you're fighting for your job.
But the real host is taking over, right? But you know, at the end of the day, I know the goal was to have your dream home.
Monopoly, but
if you look at it, like you're saying, as you acquire properties and you acquire income, you will work yourself into that dream home eventually.
Eventually, when time is right, it'll be right for me.
For sure.
What did I learn during real estate? Yo, real estate is a big world of real estate. It's a big world of real estate, and there's a piece for everybody. There's a piece for the Donald Trumps. There's a piece for the, you know, I don't want to diss us, but the guys from the hood that really, sorry to say, I've never been to college, you know? I wish I did. I didn't have the opportunity to me. I had to start working at an early age, and the opportunities wasn't there. So my mind was closed, but there is a place for real estate for me. There is a barrier to entry, and it's not impossible if you're this much fiscally responsible, you could come in, you could play.
Hmm.
You know, you could play.
Love that he's saying that. The spectrum is crazy. What he just
Big.
said.
Big.
You could be from the dirt, or you could be Donald Trump.
Yep.
Millionaire family getting some small loan of
There's
$1
room
million.
for you though.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I realized, that there's a place for everybody and there's a level for everybody.
Mhm.
And it's time to play or just, not. And I'd rather, put my money there than have my money depreciating.
That's right.
That's right. What do you want to do? You want to be in the game? You want to be on the sideline? It's basically what he's saying.
Have some fun.
And with this, I'm gonna toss it over to DT because he's been waiting patiently, and I'll let you ask you a question and a half.
He's like a monk, his patience. He's like a monk.
It's only because we look alike, Pa. That's why I'm
hermano, my hermano.
No, so
let me ask you now.
Hold up right there.
Are you sure you don't have question number 33? You sure you don't want to be Scottie Pippen?
I
You
just wanted to ask that now. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Nah, I can ask my other questions.
Please.
Do you have a story? I know you do, so I want to ask you about it. Where there was a deal that you and your lady were involved with, and somebody had to walk you off a bridge. You know what I mean? So I want you to go into that.
Let me hold on. I know right where you're going with that, and thank you, brother, thank you. So the gentleman,
you're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Oh, you're talking about detail. Oh, my bad. You're talking about me again. My bad.
So let me go back. So I'm Colombian, you know what I'm saying? So I'm from South America. So I took me and my wife, we went to go visit mom. She lives in Colombia. So real estate don't stop, man. We always looking for deals, always looking for somewhere to get in. Just because I'm in New York and not in Colombia, I can make it happen. So we're going to make it happen. We got a nice team. Right. So we found a deal. The deal's great. The deal was too great. The deal was sparkling. It was like, cash flow is great. Everything's perfect. The numbers work out good. This is perfect. We're like in the deal. We're in the middle of the stuff. We're negotiating. We're like, negotiating is going in our way, in our favor, like never before. This thing is almost too good to be true. This is perfect.
Everything I'm asking for?
Yeah, this is crazy. So I'm like, then we see, and a person that was involved in this property was DT. And we're like, you know what I'm saying? Let's see what's up. DT knows his property. Let's check it out. He knows his property very well. Let's give him a call. Let's see what he has to say. Because this deal is looking like the one, it's the cash cow that we all been looking for. Mm-hmm. After we've been running numbers for however long we've been running it.
Yeah.
We bring up the house. We have a great conversation with DT. And to be perfectly honest, I'm such a passive investor. I haven't even making the calls. My wife was making the calls. I was ear hustling, and I was in the back just listening because I'm always listening. So I said, you do the call. I want to listen. Let me see how this goes. If I want to chime in, I'll chime in. So I'm hearing Dan and her talk go back and forth. Dan, you were telling him about the deal. Dan has 1 million deals up in the air, so he doesn't know this house. He doesn't know the specifics. Dan pulls up the specifics of this house, and his voice changes. I'm hearing it from the background. And we're explaining this house, and we're like, it's rough. The bathroom looks like it has mildew. We'll fix that. We'll fix the And then we find people are living in here. People are doing. Dan is like, I really can't tell you what's going on with this property. It's really not, but it's a delicate situation. I can't say don't buy it. Yeah, they look good, but a lot of things are going on in that house. What are you talking about? What are you tell me? And we had to pry from him, but he told us there's a lot of prostitution going on in that neighborhood, and definitely that house is one of the ones that is very red hot. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? What's the And Dan, to tell you, Dan didn't say, guys, don't buy it, but he explained what could be the downfalls of buying this property. My goal is to always get 2 families. I get 2 families. Because 50%, someone's not paying, so someone is paying. If
I can tell you listen to Jerry.
Whoa! Wait a second. What do you, Larry? You broke up there. What did you say? Everything broke. Everything stopped. What did you say? I didn't hear you.
All right, so that's the way barrier entry is 2 family houses. That's what I'll go for. That's my flavor. That's what I go for. That's what I look. That's what I like. Why? 50-50. Someone's not going to pay. Someone's going to pay. If I don't get my profit, you know what? They're going to pay that mortgage, pay my debt.
It allows you to survive.
That's it. I play for another day. What? I'm not starving. I'm not hand to, you know what I'm saying? I'm not hand to mouth. Nah, don't worry about it. So I'm going for those properties. So Dan is telling me, yeah, you have, and I said, oh, somebody's already in that property and they a long-term resident. Oh, that's it. That's guaranteed. That's money guaranteed. Now the other spot, that's the problem. What's going to be the problem? And then he tells me, retention, holding somebody there. Once you know you have a prostitute or a crackhead or someone undesirable in that house that you can't get rid of, that has always been there, that is a bane of that house and also a neighborhood. So he didn't tell us don't buy it, but he's explained to us turnover. To get something turned over every couple months, you know, because why? They can't take it because they have no peace. And it's a beautiful house. So I'm like, this is a perfect family house. Upstairs, 3-bedroom, nice big bathroom. I'm like, yo, coat of paint, sand the floors. Yo, it's gonna look popping. Yo, it's gonna be great. But in reality, it's different than math. Math and reality, sometimes the reality of a deal is not what it seems to be. Sometimes the numbers look great. And that's why you need a good team. Because my wife is great with numbers. But sometimes reality that's not her forte. I can fit in that parking spot. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No, you can't. Yes, oh my goodness, try it. Okay. And you know what I'm saying? Like, so everybody's different. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different, but you need a great team. You need someone like Dan. You need someone for me. I need my wife. I need someone to analyze and bring the actual factual mathematics. And then I'll take the reality of the situation and be like, this is what? Nah, that is not a good play. And then why? Compile everything that Dan said. Think about, you know what I'm saying? Everything with the numbers. Let's say if we had to mitigate that number from the turnover and in and out and just the headaches. Are we really gonna make the money? Is it that cash cow? No. And then I said, y'all, Dan's telling me about the inside house. It's not always about the inside of the house. So then I went to the block and I said, let me look at the neighboring houses, the adjacent houses. Let me look at and I'm from the hood, like I said, and this will be a perfect trap house. Perfect trap house. If I was ever to do some crazy, selling crack, selling dope, selling some type of illicit, this would be the perfect house. Why? Because the house is solid and what's behind? Commercial parking attached to a bank. So you could do anything from there. You know what I'm saying? Anybody, they're going to smoke up their crack in the bank parking lot in the back of my window. They're going to do prostitution in the back of my window. Who's going to want to live there? What kind? And it's a family house. It's a beautiful family house. What type of person or what type of family is going to be wanting living in there? Yeah. So it's a bad deal.
Everything that glitter isn't gold, man.
Yo, fool's gold. That's what it is. So you bought that, it would have been fools. But could you imagine if I solely went on what my wife said, solely went on what I felt, solely what if I didn't listen to Dan, if I didn't take heed, if I didn't ask the right questions, if I didn't say, yo, the numbers are good. Dan says it's a problem tenant. This could be a problem. If I didn't go Google Earth and look at the surroundings and say, why could this even be a more problem? Or could it be in the future? Could it be better? Maybe if, you know what I'm saying? Because, it's commercial. The stores are right there. Nah, this is rough. Even the store, the stores are looking rough. It looks like the hood neighborhood. It doesn't look like it could be revitalized in 10 years. Why? Yeah. It's part of the town that is very, your next door neighbor, is boarded up. The one across looks like it's burnt, So who's going to want to live in that house long term?
Huge points.
And that's where it comes down to. Yeah. I know we spoke about this multiple times. If the numbers make sense, we buy. But the number didn't make sense. Even if the house was so low to buy, the overall picture does not make sense. And we would tell you not to buy, even though it looks good on paper.
Yeah.
That's what we do. We do.
The biggest value.
We do the breakdown.
That's what I want to say right here. Thank you, DT, because you saved me headache, heartache, financial loss, calling the cops on these people. Like a lot of headache that it comes with that.
Trying to get them evicted, paying lawyer fees.
Come on.
And then if you would have tried to resell that property, you would have been, because that property was on the market forever. And they put it on the market and it was able to stay there, and people, they understood that the only person who's going to buy that house is an out-of-town investor. Right. And not just an out-of-town investor, but an out-of-town investor who don't have a clue.
Mm.
It just so happened to be that you got a clue because you got the right team.
Yeah, but I'll tell you honestly, the numbers were looking so good that sometimes logic went out of my head. You know,
Mhm.
reality went out of my head. I'm like, oh, yo, this is great. This is better than my first house. This is better than the second house. Even this better than the first. Yo, we getting better. Yo, I want this house. And sometimes your want is not what you need. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Sometimes what you want is not what you need. You want that Lambo, you don't need that Lambo. You know?
Yeah.
But that's the reason why we do this though. You just said it. That those numbers look great, and hey, listen, Larry, I know you want this property. I'm not saying that you don't want to buy it. You can keep on doing what you got to do. But if you ask our opinion, we're gonna tell you that's not a good buy.
And why is not a good buy? Not just
And
it's
we
not a
broke
good
you
buy.
down. Correct.
That's a
Absolutely.
good point. So I know I remember part of the conversation, when I was speaking to you. So I had a vested interest because the seller I have a relationship with, and then maybe you, the buyer, I have a relationship with, right? So there's obviously certain things that I can and can't disclose.
I knew it. How you were so were so like vague, and he's not.
Right.
And I'm like, and I said to my wife's name's Joy. I went, Joy, read between the lines. He's telling you something, and you're not picking it up.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay. I'm like, baby, he's telling you, but he can't tell you because there's a conflict of interest.
She was showing me pictures, and she's like, yeah, but what do you think about this? And I think we could just fix it like this. And
I hear his voice.
she was like, how much would it cost? And I was like, oh, that's probably going to be like $800. And then she was like, oh, okay, that's good. We could do that. And then she was like, the bathroom. And I was like, oh yeah, that'll be this. And she was like, oh, okay, I think we could do that. And I was like, yeah, but I'm not sure that the numbers you're hearing the numbers, but I so understand you're gonna have to do this like every 6 months. Like you're gonna fix it now, and then 6 months later you're gonna have to fix it again, and then again in 6 months, and then again in 6 months. And I could get. She was like, well, why? Well, why do you say that? Because I mean, a tenant's gonna stay there for. I was like, nah. Listen, when it all boils down to it, listen, this was the problem. The problem is that outside of your door, when whoever rents your property, when they open the front door, there's going to be a prostitute sitting on their front porch. Walking across the street, they're like, it's prostitute central. 100%, you're going to have a Dear John and a prostitute in your backyard at some certain point.
And then hold up. And then my wife's joke was, oh, then we could have a John move in next door, and then it'll be perfect.
She didn't say that. She's like, as long as John pays rent, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I remember it. I was like, oh my goodness. I like someone that wants to see roses and rainbows out of a polished shit. Like,
So here's something that we don't talk about, right?
Yeah.
Like if your property gets raided, or it's something like that happens, you get points against you in the city or county. So once you get a certain amount of points, it becomes a problem, and that property is labeled as problematic.
Yeah. And
the issues follow after that. That is something that no one talks about.
And they can make you vacate, and they can make you vacate the property.
They can vacate it. Yep.
For 2 years, a year.
Gem right there. Hit it right there, brother.
And then your hidden gem of the day.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that, and that happens, because when you buy in fringe neighborhoods, like we spoke about before, things happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And do you know who's responsible when things happen? Not the tenant.
Yeah.
You are.
So,
I had a property I was involved with.
Save you from getting a couple points under your house.
That's why I had to dedicate it and say, yo, DT, thank you so much, because I wasn't on that phone call, but I was on that phone call. I was affected so much by that one little thing that he did that I was like, yo, I can't wait to be on the podcast, and I'm gonna divulge that little gem right there that I almost slipped by, but that is so big. That's so.
Watch when your wife watches the podcast. I knew that already. We weren't gonna buy it. I was joking. I knew that already.
Yeah, I don't want to live with prostitutes.
Right. So, and obviously that's the hidden gem. The benefit of investing in hidden gem real estate, investing in the team, investing in what we got going on. If you didn't have the right team, you would have fell victim to that property. I mean, and only God knows what would have happened from there. But I wanted to go back to, that's one of the most important things that our team offers to investors, right? To out-of-town investors, even local investors who just aren't familiar with the 2, 3s, and 4s and 5s of the world. You know what I'm saying? Because you got some people who come from 9 and 10 areas, become affluent and want to invest, right? But in their brain, they think, oh, I only got 80 grand, 100 grand. I can't really buy a house in where I'm from. So if I want to invest, I got to invest in fringe neighborhoods, but I don't know how to do it. Biggest thing, one of the biggest things that we offer, man, is that street by street, property by property analysis, that breakdown. If you buy this property, what are you going to expect? What neighborhood is it in? What type of renters are you going to get there? Long term, what is it going to look like? Am I going to struggle with tenant occupancy? Is there going to be vandalism? Am I going to deal with drug addicts? Am I going to deal with drug spots? Am I going to deal with some type of school traffic that's going to not make it desirable? Are people going to be parking on my front lawn because across the street is a grocery store? Like all this stuff, you know what I'm saying? This is a big thing in what we do for our customers in our market. So, if you don't tap in for anything, you will see your funds refunded to you in just that analysis alone.
Right.
Without just that analysis alone.
Bang, right there. Let me add something talking about team. My wife, let me just shout her out too. I want to shout out my wife. My first 2 years.
Once Joy listens to this, you know what? Let me shout her out. I love you very much.
I want to shout out my wife too.
Honestly, she's the analytical one. She's the analytical one. I'm the political one. You know what I'm saying? I do the politics. She does the analyze, and that's why we're a great team. And then we extended our family and our team to you guys, and now we have a bigger team, and now we're really changing the world.
Quickly, your first deal, right? When you did your first deal, obviously you had a conversation with Jerry. Everything made sense. You and your lady lined up. How did that go? How did your first deal go? After you had the courage to pursue your first deal, how did that go?
The first deal, it went really well. It was a bit scary. You know what I'm saying? It was a bit scary because the price of the house was really low. So what happens when the price of the house is really low? There's a lot of costs that are not right there written and not big and not, but there's costs there. Mm-hmm. But like I said, that was my price of entry. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to brag, but that first deal, I bought 2 houses in one because it was so cheap that when I got the loan, they loaned me even more money. So I was like, there's a lot of remainder that we could do here. So that we put that same money and then took that loan that they gave us and put a piece of that to down payment to the second house.
So you mean to tell me you went to do, and I'm sounding like Lance right now, but I mean to, because this is it hits home. Mm-hmm. You mean to tell me your intentions were to buy one investment property?
Yes. And
you stumbled upon your second because the bank just decided to give you more money?
The bank gave me a great loan, and what I needed was pennies, like what it was, because that first house was so cheap, but the deal was there. I was like, this works. That's it. And then when I was at the table, I was eating at the table. There was a lot of cash left over. Yeah. What I'm gonna do? What do we do? It's not even leftovers, Jerry. There was flour, eggs. I could have made another cake. I could have made another meal out of that. Not leftovers. Nobody chewed it up.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why I was So I went all in. And it paid off. That's one house was way more. It had 3 units. And then the smaller house was small. It had 2 units, but still cash flow.
Do you mind discussing numbers?
Particularly,
you don't have to be specific.
I really don't like to go through my numbers because
say less. Yeah, say less.
It's just.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all.
Let's talk in general.
Here's a great number. You have 5 units, and you're about to get how many more units?
2 more.
So you're gonna have 7 units in this small span of time that he's been doing this. I mean,
that's fire.
What are we talking about?
And for somebody who's listening, right, who says, okay, this gentleman jumped in to the real estate game. He bought, 1 unit, he bought 1 property and then stumbled upon the second, if you will, bought that. Now is closing on the third, right? He's got to have $200,000-$300,000 in the bank in order to do that.
Guess how many credit cards I had when I started this?
Say it again.
Guess how many credit cards I had when I started this?
Oh man, go ahead. You tell me, Bob.
Zero. Your boy had zero credit. I had no credit. Why? Because my mom and dad told me that, you know who lives in the credit card? The devil lives in the credit card. So you touch that credit card and you're gonna start growing horns. So I was so that's it. Like, yo, so never ever had any credit. So that was crazy. So when they looked at my my credit score, I had good credit score. Why? Because I pay my bills. I don't owe anybody a dollar.
You never tapped into it.
So when I got to the table, they say, yo, Mr. Larry, you have good credit, but you have no credit history. So you don't have good credit history. So it was a little funny. But then they did the math, and they saw how long I had my bank accounts, and that counted. They saw that my car payments were all good. They saw the value that I had in my car, and they were like, the loan wasn't that much. That I bought 2 houses. Let me just tell you, houses are small. You know, these houses are small. It's not like they gave me $1 million loan.
So no credit history. They still figured it out for you, and you still had enough to buy 2 properties in our market.
It is possible.
Come on.
And,
I mean,
I just want to.
And now 3.
Just to add in, who did we give you that person to figure it out for you?
What do you mean?
The mortgage person. Did we do that for you?
What do you mean? Oh, of course, yeah.
I just want to make sure what I'm trying to picture. I'm trying to draw out a picture saying we have never told you anything different, but to trust in our team.
And even me, let me put a pin in that. I didn't know I could use that money for another house. I was like, oh, I got to give back the rest that I didn't use. I don't know. I never borrow money from nobody. I don't like to borrow from, but that's when the other first gem of the day that I said, don't be scared of debt, because I was terrified of debt. I don't want to borrow a dollar. You don't owe nobody anything. Don't bill collectors knocking on my door. Why? Because my parents went through that. My mom had almost like $60-something thousand in debt. And literally that crushed the fam. Because, you know, when you spending the money, there's always problems with money. So I run my house low overhead. You know, I really try never to fight about money, because that is the bane of a lot of relationships breaking up for a dollar.
Yep.
It's disgusting. For me, it's disgusting, because what's a dollar, you know? When you're on your deathbed, are you like counting your money? No, you're going to be thinking about your kids, your wife, your love, your friend, you know, the people that helped you with an opportunity to change their life. You know, that's what you're going to be thinking about.
You're welcome. You're welcome for that. I know Jerry's in there, but you're welcome. I got you.
Yo.
I'm gonna take all credit. I'm gonna take full credit instead of Jerry.
right now, I'm divulging.
To be honest, it stems from us anyway.
Yeah,
it stems from DT. It stems for you. It stems for me to give him the knowledge. It comes from all 3 of us anyway. So
it's a fact.
You could definitely tell him that you taking the credit.
No,
yeah. Like I said, Lance deserves all the credit.
Yeah, I appreciate it. The one and only Lance. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen. But listen, I appreciate all the knowledge that you dropped today. I mean, it was very entertaining. You know, I can appreciate everything you said, and you sound just like us. The way we preach and the way we speak. I mean, you were not prepped for this before you came on. We did not have a conversation about this before you came here. And I mean, I tell you mirrored everything that we preach here. You know, you mirrored everything we preach here, and it just goes to show. The biggest thing that hit me is when you said that, you know, you didn't go to college, you know, you're from a certain area, which we would say is the hood or the dirt, and then there's space for someone like you, and there's space for someone like Trump in this game, for everybody. And that's what we're trying to preach. Stop thinking that because you have 20,000 or 30,000 in your account, there's no way you can play. You can play and build. On top of that, it's very important. And let me tell you what, it's going to get you there even quicker when you have a strong team. And that's H.G.R.G.
Preach.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. I appreciate it, Larry. We appreciate you.
You didn't ask me if I had any final thoughts.
Oh, please. Gosh.
Lance, I'm yo, Larry, you put this man under a lot of pressure. He's not even knowing what he want me to do right now.
That's why he's trying to pull the plug.
I'm trying to get up out of here.
Kill it.
Jerry, do you have a 33rd question? DT.
I got a couple more questions, buddy.
Oh my God. Go ahead. We'll go ahead and spit.
Guys, whatever you like. I owe you guys a lot. So to give you guys some time, give you guys my testimony.
We appreciate that, man.
Straight from my heart. I get straight from my heart. I really don't, you know, like to tell you honestly, I wouldn't be the guy on the podcast divulging all my business and telling everybody how to really get it. To tell you honestly, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's not my life goal. That's not where I would put my, but you guys, I commend you guys for it. You know, that's a big thing. We're changing lives. We're changing actual property. We're changing the world. Like you guys preach. We're not slumlords. We take care of our property. We take care of our tenants. We move the right tenants in there. We, you know, revitalize the community with good people ready to pay, ready to play, ready to mow their lawn, you know? And hopefully that reflects in society. Hopefully a good family moves there. Hopefully the violence gets better, and that's better for us, because then the property value goes up. Oh, everybody's good. Everybody's living. And it's a win-win for us, society, and our tenants, you know?
That's right. That's right. That's right, for sure.
Now you
For sure.
That boy was ready, man.
I'll tell you, you guys got. I don't know how you guys could even ask anything else after this, man. I'm telling you. But do you guys have anything else?
I got something else to say, but Jerry got to go with his 33.
Nah, you go ahead.
Listen, man, 33 is an important number. Go ahead, bro.
You know 33 is a good number. So besides the horror story of the rent, what was your biggest obstacle?
The biggest obstacle was trusting somebody with my money, trusting somebody to do right when I gave him something, and me not being there. You know, I'm not gonna tell, because I like to keep my secrets. I like to keep everything to the chest. I'm not gonna tell you where I purchased my properties, but I can't go there every day. I can't be on top of it. I have a job and I have responsibilities that I'm here. So I got to put trust in someone else to know they're giving that care, giving the respect, giving all their attention that I'm paying for them, and the proper feedback for me also, and a two-way street, so we could be both successful. And that was a big thing, because a lot of people are. You're very distrusting. Like I said, I'm a New Yorker. I don't trust my neighbor. You know what I'm saying? I got robbed yesterday. It was him. You know, it was my neighbor. You know, like I never had beef with somebody from Cali. You know, I had beef with somebody across the street. Feel me?
Yeah, that's how I go.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing.
That's how I go.
There we go.
Trust is a big thing. That's a big barrier, and just I think that was the biggest thing. Trusting this is gonna work. Yeah. And how could you dispel that trust? Show them the playbook. Show them 1 + 1. It's always gonna add up to 2. You know,
and also, you know, my bad to cut you off, but and also you're the people who you've been introduced to through the team, you know, you hired them, right? You can also fire them.
Yeah, of course. You
know, if they don't do the right thing.
Your team is as good as your weakest link.
That's a fact. So you've been able to, you know, obviously we told you about, hey, do this, do that. Well, actually, Jerry, and then, you know, you tried those people, and then there's been people, let's be clear, that you've been like, you know what, I like this person better. I'm gonna use this person. I like that person. I'm gonna use that person. You've made your own, you know, circle, if you will, within kind of the references that came. But with that being said, that's the options that you have, because it's a bulletproof scenario. You create it the way you want to create it, right? When you drive your car, you drive the way some people like to drive to the far left, right on the dotted line or on the white line. Some people like to drive to the far right. At the end of the day, you're still in the same lane. It's just how you drive. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So this is how you doing your thing. And that's what makes real estate phenomenal, because you could do it in so many different ways. There's really no wrong way to do it. The wrong thing to do is don't do it.
Boom.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
that's good that you said that, though, because I remember, I can give you a story that at the beginning, he wasn't really liking the finance person that we gave. He was like, why is she this? Why is she that? I'm not really feeling her. And him and his wife was like hitting me up like, yo, what's up, man? What's up? And I remember, because I hit up Lens like, yo, Lens, we got to talk to her. She has to understand that when we give out people, they're not 100% seasoned, so she gotta walk it through. So and now he's like, I love that person,
dude. That's a big thing. In the beginning, I felt like I didn't want to talk bad about who you're talking about, because we great friends now. You know what I'm saying?
No, but listen, this is what built what this is today. So I mean, it's okay to touch on it, and I understand where you're coming from. But you know, this was your reality. You know, so go ahead. I apologize.
No, that's fine. The biggest thing is, be transparent what you need. Be transparent what you want. Be transparent of who you are. If she thinks you're Donald Trump, yo, you don't need the directions to the bag. But if she knows that, yo, this is my first time, I don't know when it's closing. I'm far away. How do I do virtual closing? Do I set that up? Does the lawyer set that up? What is this? Yo, this numbers doesn't look right.
Yeah.
You need to give somebody a little bit more attention when you know they cutting their teeth on this.
Right.
You need to, because if not, they're gonna feel swindled. And if you feel swindled, I don't want to do business with you. I'm gonna do business with your competitor, with your neighbor, with the person that you're going against.
Who will give you a little bit more attention. Yeah.
And literally, how much does attention cost? How much does a phone call cost? How much is that 5 minutes to tell me, yo, Larry, yo, hold up. This is not a good idea. This is why, or this is why you made a good idea.
Yeah.
And this is how I can help you.
Yep.
5 minutes, 10 minutes, real quick.
Yeah.
Take it or like it. Love it,
Right.
love it or leave it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That's why transparency is big. You know, like you said, don't be scared to ask questions. Don't and you were not. You know, Jerry mentioned that earlier. You weren't scared to ask questions.
That's a great segue, Lance. Great segue to my last question.
Okay, and that would be what?
No. So earlier in the episode, Larry said that, you know, where he comes from, the type of person he is, the upbringing. You know, he asked Jerry for a lot. Jerry gave him a bunch of information, and he got to a point where he's like, I don't want to bother him no more. I don't want to ask him no more, because this man gave me so much stuff that I'm like, I don't want to feel like I'm taking advantage of him. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be in that place. But I mean, I appreciate him. And he always told me, yeah, you know, ask. But right now, you know, because my manhood is in the way, my pride is in the way, and who I am, I'm like, if I ask him one more question, it's like, damn, you know, I didn't do enough for you already. That's in your own brain, though, right? I'm sure, Larry, that was in your own brain, because Jerry never gave you that, you know.
Very intimidated, and that was my own misconception.
Right. So what I would say is that it's not really a question, it's more so a thought, you know, for people listening, and even for ourselves. You know, don't ever be afraid to ask a million questions, even if the person gets annoyed of you, which Jerry didn't do, thank God. Lance probably would do, but Jerry didn't. No, that's a joke, because
I didn't want to go back to the well and feel like, and Jerry's giving it to me for free. He didn't charge me $1. He didn't ask me for nothing. He wasn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In the beginning, it was just like, yo, I want to see you win.
Yeah.
And then now I see him building the playbook, and now it's for everybody. Now it's not just for his boy at work. Now it's not for his brother, his cousin. No, it's for everybody. If you want it, it's right here.
Oh, that's so dope. And part of my
I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah.
What do we keep on saying
every
episode?
That's 33, baby.
We do it for the culture. We do it for us. We do it. And at one point in time, we were giving it out for free.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we said. He's not telling anything that we didn't say.
Yeah.
But this is just saying what I was saying. I've never shied from.
Yeah.
I told you, I told the fans, I'm telling you, and Larry is telling you now.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever we said, he is full circle, like DT says. He is definitely saying it again. We've done that. We've done that. We sat on that.
Yeah.
And we still stand on that. It's just now there's a little price tag on that.
Yeah. I mean, and there's a price tag because there wasn't a lot of Larrys.
Which being honest with you, if you know, we could tell some of the horror stories, we could tell some stories, but you know, if to the people listening, if I don't know about you personally, but I'm gonna speak for myself. If somebody told me, you're looking to invest, you're looking to do something in your life, you're looking to level up in some way, shape, form, or fashion. If you got, you know, good credit, bad credit, no credit. If you got a lot of money, a little bit of money, or something in between, no matter where you are in life, if you tap into this podcast, this mentorship, this coaching, this portal, and you pay this dollar amount, and you follow the rules, and you do what you're supposed to do it as a responsible person that follows these lessons, these learns, uses this team as we describe it to be, and uses it in an effective way, you are guaranteed to succeed. My response would be, where do I sign? How much is it? Can I make a payment? If I don't got the whole money, can I make payments? Or, you know, what that looks like? Because I mean, how many people do you see go to these mentorships classes, you know, real estate class here, coaching, seminars, physical seminars, you know, even for like working out, like bodybuilding shit. Like it's so many different courses, people like invest in themselves, which is dope. which is dope. But, you know, if somebody showed me a tried and true team that I can do that with, and my friend or somebody I knew had an experience with that, and you got people that are literally live testimonials online that are saying these things. And I know there's a lot of people out there that may not be genuine, but I mean, this stuff, you can't make this up, right? You could just, I mean, anybody who has a heartbeat can tell that this is genuine, this is real. There's no, you know, script to this. But if you tell me that, sign me up.
It's a no-brainer.
People pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to go to college. And I have no qualm with people who go to college. If anything, I want my kids to go to college, you know, so I'm all for it. I'm not against it. But how many people pay student loans for the rest of their lives and didn't really get anything out of it? And in debt forever with that. And that ain't going nowhere. Why wouldn't you invest maybe a 1 semester or 2 semesters into something like this? Why would you not?
Preach.
Why would you not?
There's a lot of preaching today going on out here. A lot of preaching today.
Lastly, I would say to you, listen, anybody listening, you got a gentleman like this who, and I don't mean to be funny, but from ear hustling took him to a business. Simply ear hustling the right way. Ear hustling the right way. Because if I'm in a room and somebody's talking about something that intrigues my brain, I'm ear hustling the right way. And I'm not going to be afraid to ask a million questions.
But that's the biggest thing too, to interrupt that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Ear hustling is good, but then you have to have action. Because if I just stated, if I was hustling and be like, oh, that's a great idea, I kept on typing and doing my files,
yeah,
I would still be in the same chair, not doing nothing, and still, you know.
Yeah, you took action to your ear. You know, you took action to that, and that was really the key to success. That's another reason why, like what I said, you know, I want to be like when I grow up, because a lot of times we hear things that sounds great. Oh man, I think I could do something like that. But then, you know, I'm intimidated by a Jerry. I'm intimidated by a Lance. I'm intimidated by a Larry. And I just won't ever approach them because I have that pride or whatever. So, you know, please, people listening, don't just ear hustle. Like Larry said, action, ask questions, introduce yourself. Let them know, listen, I heard what you were saying, and that sounds like something I want to do. Ask me more, tell me more. And you know what? Some people may say, you might not get the response you want. Some people may put a dollar sign on it. Right up front. Some people may tell you right up front, yeah, I could tell you, but it's going to cost you something. Others may be like Jerry and be like, hey, man, I just want you to win. Ask me a million questions. I got it. You tell me, I'll tell you. But at the end of the day, you can't be mad regardless of what the reception is. What you can be mad at is if you never ask. You got to ask. Shoot your shot. I always say this. You will miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Facts.
What happens when you make that one? You lit.
Yeah, you win it.
You lit. You in the game.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Now, Lance, you can do your job.
Once again, Larry, we appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. You know, D, amazing job. DT, amazing job. H.G.R.G family. It was a great episode. We'll be back with another one. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. What they say? I'm so divine, I'm so divine. Imperfection, perfection, my presence shines. My mental's parasailing maritime. They say I'm